I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter, and this is
the Family Showdown! Hello and welcome back to the top 100 games of all time, my edition for 2022 with Hunter the Magnificent, Hunter Il Magnifico. Yes. Today, with the side commentary, we're going to talk about getting into drum roll the top 50. Woo! So we're going to go through
finally some good games.
50 through 41.
The worst of the best. The worst
Rude
of the best.
Rude. So, smack in the middle, we got number 50. It was 58 last year. 58. That's a huge difference. I'm kidding. It's not. It's pretty much the same deal. We talked about its friend last time. Spoilers, go watch the other video, you cheaters. Roll for the Galaxy. I like it a little more anymore. More than the cards. I know, shocking.
Nope.
Shocking. You don't believe me?
Massive asterisk.
What? How so?
I think you like the card one better.
I thought that too, but then the last time we played this, it's just a little bit smoother to play Roll for the Galaxy. And you still get to do all the choices. Because you have the action choices and you pick an action and you get to do it with a cool benefit and stuff. And if you don't pick that action, well, you don't get to do it. Well, this one, that kind of changes it up a little bit because behind your little screen, you can put your dice with your choices in multiple places. As long as you have a dice there and someone else picks it for their main action, you're going to get to do stuff. So you get your main action stuff no matter what. But I could be like, Hunter hasn't built in a while. I think he's going to build this turn. So I'll put some other dice over there. Chances are I'm going to get to use them too. I like being able to use that for multiple things and kind of piggyback off of you and doing that and the way the dice work. There's things to do to get, like, re-roll or do things like that. There's a magical in the expansion for this, which, by the way, is fantastic. One of the best expansions for a game ever. It adds a new die, a little orange one. And yes, because it's orange, that's not the reason it's my favorite. It's added plus, though. It's like a wild. And so you get to do crazy things with it that you didn't get to do. It kind of feels like it breaks the game, but in the best way imaginable. So you're mixing it up a little bit, and you've got all the cards. Same premise as Race for the Galaxy. You've got your planety stuff and your tech-ish stuff, and you're building those things, and you're still racing, in a way, for those victory points. But this time, you're rolling dice to race. And it's called Roll for the Galaxy. Bet you didn't see that one coming. Pretty deep. You like this one better than Race for the Galaxy as well, right?
No.
What?
I don't know. Well, you'll have to wait and see in January.
Ooh.
All right, so
Ooh.
It's interesting that you say this has one of the best expansions, but then the second expansion is one of the worst expansions.
Hey, it happens. Why mess with perfection?
So it has a good expansion. Ambition.
And then it's got
and they have a bad expansion. I don't remember what the name of it is. It's so bad I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, it stinks. It's the stink expansion.
Yeah, it has some kind of die that you build. It's some kind of weird market thing going on.
And we were like, nope.
Anyway.
Nope.
Yeah, it's a good one. I give it a meh. No, I really like this one. It's a good one. This one plays about the same amount of time. I like the dice. Mm-hmm. I like the dice mitigation. I like the little playing chicken, guessing what the other players are going to do kind of thing going on. The bits are better. Race for the Galaxy is just a bunch of cards, basically. And this one's got dice and cups and...
It just feels like the quality of the production is a little bit better, too.
The tiles instead of cards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But... they're about the same in my head. I mean, depending on my mood, one's gonna be higher than the other.
I could see that.
So,
absolutely.
Depends on what they'll probably be. I think last year they may have been back to back. They were either back to back or really close to back to back.
Yeah, so, that's true. It was.
So
very cool.
Just You gotta go your way. I got no space on this side.
No,
is
that so?
The side of the lawn is full up.
Okay. So my next one, I will confess, is a cheat.
So now it's your top 103, I'm guessing.
Something like that.
Oh.
They both.
I'm gonna do like Blood Rage and Rising Sun and Ankh together, and I'm gonna do like 7 Uwe games together.
I can't wait for the comments on this.
And I can't, and like the entire Feld collection is one number.
What in the world? It's not like I just unhinged the universe here. Okay.
My universe is unhinged.
Oh, you're unhinged, all right. So I combined. This is where Hunter's probably gonna have a small stroke, but I combined Aura at Labora and Glass Road together. To me, they're the same game, but tweaked. Aura et Labora is like the long, heavy-duty version. Glass Road is a more finessed, newer, more streamlined edition that's quicker. But they, at their heart, you're doing the same thing. Okay? It's prayer and hard work, okay? You're doing your thing. You're working on, and it's still got the same gimmick. I mean, come on. It's the same game. It's the same game.
No.
It's the same game.
3 hours, 40 minutes.
That's what I said. It's a streamlined, more updated version.
Community resources, personal resources. Cards,
yeah, they just made it. That's how it's
tiles.
streamlined. Oh my gosh. Really? Cards and tiles? That's how you're going to. Oh my gosh. Anyway, what's cool about this and what unifies them is the little gimmicky bit.
Unifies them. So it's Glass Road Labora, or is it Glass Aura?
Glass at Labora?
Yeah.
Or
what unifies them, sweetie?
So what unifies them is a really cool gimmick where it has this little wheel of resources on this. It spins really, really slowly in a boring fashion, but it can get exciting if you're trying to balance out your resources, because every time it goes and someone doesn't take resources, you add a resource to it. So that little puppy can get just chock full of wood or rocks or whatever you happen to be working on till it gets to its max. And every time you crank, it's like the clock is ticking. Who's going to take it? We're all playing chicken. I really want to get a whole bunch of resources, but I think I can wait till I can get one more. Oh, Hunter sniped them all. And now I'm going to have to wait. I love that. I love the little waiting game, the playing with that. What happens in this one is it's more of a personal tracks. In this one, you're sharing that. So it's much more of a battle to fight to get the resources. In this one, they kind of keep it more... You're kind of fighting against yourself, because it maxes out at a certain amount, and then you can... nothing really comes of it. I think on one of the things it changes into bricks or something like.
Once you get enough resources to make
the secondary stuff, right?
Automatically convert.
Yeah, so it starts converting them.
You gotta play a game like you don't want it. If you want the resources, you don't want them to convert to the other resources.
Yeah, you need to grab it before they start converting over. So it still plays kind of a little waiting game, but it's just slightly tweaked depending on which version you're playing. And I love Uwe Rosenberg. I love the balance of the game. You start out really small with this stuff, but if you balance out carefully how and when you pick which goods to work with, you can kind of maximize that so that you're not going back multiple times to get the same thing. Or maybe it's better for you to do that so that you don't have to worry about people sniping them from you. I mean, there's all these really good choices of stuff. I really like, too, how you can get upgraded little places to build and stuff. Your resources, like he was talking about, you get upgraded resources. So eventually your clay, you get bricks. So then you're building stuff with bricks instead, and they're going to be better, and they're going to be more efficient. They're going to build better for you and get you stuff quicker, which helps you get your victory points quicker. You get where I'm going with that. A lovely little engine builder stuff going on with it. Fun, smooth game if you like Uwe Rosenberg. It's Uwe. I like at his finest. Some of my faves of his. All right, I'm ready for it. I'm just ready. You've been holding your breath for so long, trying to behave so well.
I would not pair these two.
Why?
Because they're not the same game.
They are.
They're very different games. This is a very heavy Euro with really strong resource management. Has cards where you're doing proximity to each other and you're building out your map, and you add sections and certain cards go in certain areas, and this one's one of the, probably, if it isn't his heaviest game, it's pretty close, and it's maybe one of those longest playing games as well. So this one's just a beast of a heavy Euro game. This one, on the other hand, is a fairly light game. It plays super quick. It's easier to teach. It's easier to play. It's easier to get to the table. It has a gimmick where you're playing certain specialist cards, and you're kind of playing a game of chicken with other people. You don't want to copy other people and what you're playing, so there's some hand management in this game, which there's not in the other game. They're very, to me, in my mind, they're very different. I understand you're focusing on how the resources kind of work similarly.
I don't know why, but they've always felt like the same to me. I get the same vibe playing them. It's just that, like you said, one's heavier, takes a little longer to get your end results.
Yeah, but
than
the mechanism that's driving them are each different as well.
Which is weird. I don't know why. I get the same vibe from them. So yeah, that's fine. You can disagree. I don't care. This is my list.
I do love them both. I think this one's slowly creeping down my list.
Really? It's harder to get to the table.
Very slower because it's hard to get to the table. This one's creeping up for the opposite reason. It's much easier. And also on the back of the box down at the bottom, it says, also an excellent two-player game.
Ching ching.
They're both good two-player.
They're fantastic.
This one's a beast, and this one's not a beast.
No, that's true. That's true. And I don't know why. Like I said, I have Glass Road originally was higher than Aura at Labora as well. I don't know, guys. I don't know what it is about them, but they feel the same to me, so I put them together. And there's nothing you can do about it.
My number 32 is Castles of Tuscany, Trajan.
We're about to have some technical difficulties.
Because they're all
that Hunter's going to have to edit out.
Similar to me.
So we're going to have an edited section here. If you notice a jump in the video, don't worry about it. Hunter disappears. You understand why.
The quality anyway.
Wow, whatever. Okay, so my number 48 was my 40 last year. Dropped a little bit, probably because of new games. And I still love this game so much. And I know I love this way more than you.
That's good.
Imperial Settlers, Empires of
love this
the
way
North. Oh
more.
my goodness. Okay.
It's very glary.
So I really enjoyed Imperial Settlers. It was fun.
Yeah.
But this is like, I don't know what it is about this one, but they just, they fixed it, and it's the way I like to play it, and I'm just like, this is awesome, awesome, awesome. So you have, again, are they apples or tomatoes, or what are those things? I think they're supposed to be apples, right? This is the only argument I have is about the art. Are they apples? Are they tomatoes? Whatever Hunter says, I say the opposite because that's how I roll. But there's poor baby.
So just food.
It's just food. It's food. But you have resources on your cards, and you're building up your little clan, race, group, whatever. And it's just a cool little engine builder, baby civ builder, sort of. And you're building up, you grab your resources, and each turn you have to spend all your resources. There's really very little that you get to keep behind. And there's things that help you keep more in this version of it. But so you've got your resources and you need to spend them. So you're wheeling and dealing, trying to do all these different actions to buy different things that you can do and get buildings or upgrade or protect or attack or do all this different stuff. The attacking in this is very light. It's not one of those that takes me and says, I hate this game now. Because I don't like a lot of Euros that have attack stuff in it, but it's very minimal for the most part in this game. But you've got your little places, your little buildings and stuff, and then they start to chain off of each other and whatnot, because now you've got 4 different buildings, and now they build different resources. Well, now you've got all these resources. What are you going to do with them? Because you need to spend them, and now you're going to go spend them, and are you going to upgrade whatever you've got, or are you going to go and get like more cool buildings and get those things, and you want to start getting those buildings that turn all of this goods and stuff you're getting into victory points, and I love it. I absolutely love playing this game. It is quick. It's pretty easy to teach because, I mean, once people learn how to read the cards and what the symbols do and this and that, you're good to go. It says 45 to 90 minutes. I think it's for the 2-player. It's probably close to that 45-minute mark for us. And why are you so quiet?
No, I like
I don't know.
Of all the games that are based on this engine, Imperial Settlers, 51st State, all those different games, this is probably my favorite.
Oh, wow, cool.
But it's okay.
You did not say that.
It's all right.
Wow.
It's just all right.
Yeah, this is my favorite out of those two.
I don't. I wouldn't turn down a play of it, but it's not one I would pick to play. If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. That's very much because it's lighter than you usually want.
It's not that light. It has some interesting decisions. How the action selections.
It is medium weight at least.
The asymmetrical powers that each of the different clans play, or empires, whatever you want to call them, play a little bit differently than each other. Got some resource management. It's got engine building. It's got some good stuff going on. It's just there's nothing that really sings to me.
Well, it doesn't have any major gimmicks, really.
It doesn't sing to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's just all right.
And I think that's why I like it, though, in its simplicity. It's not super trying to be flashy and crazy or anything like that, but it's just got super smooth gameplay. A lot of fun. Empires of the North. All right, so my number 47 is going to make Hunter sad. As he calls it, Punitation Nation!
You can't steal my stuff.
I totally am.
I'm calling my lawyer.
You do that. So my number 24 last year is now my number 47.
What?
Yeah. It happened. It's that one right there. I know. No, touchy the list. Nope, I went the game. Oh. Oh, and now the audience is deaf. Good job there. I don't think you even needed to do that. Oh, God. Okay, enjoy editing all the sound.
I don't edit the sound.
I'm really sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Anachrony. Boop, boop, boop. No, this is the most ridiculous sized box of greatness ever. It got punished, but I think it's just we haven't gotten to play it as much lately. Thank you. And that's probably it, honestly. We just need to play it again. And it's probably settling a little bit. But, oh, man. This game, the Infinity Box.
There's nowhere to put
I know.
it doesn't block
I know. It's like a black hole. It just takes out the sun. Yeah, hey, how's it going? So, in this game, you're time traveling. Actually, that's just an aspect of it. You're mostly scientists and you're doing worker placement-y bits and things. It's so good. So, you're trying to get... Sorry, you're just smiling. I don't know if you're sad or what. He's masking all of the emotions going through right now. The world's in trouble, guys. It's going to end. And what you're doing is you're building your little spaceship and you're trying to race and get the heck out of here before the world explodes. Ah! But apparently, you're, getting your resources and doing your thing. And you're like, wow, I really needed such and such. So you're like, hey, future self, I really would like, a box of planks. I don't know. Or something, whatever. I don't know. What are you building? I don't know. So, future self was like, do, time travels, deposit this. Now you got to remember later on, though, send yourself back that box of planks, or the whole time-space continuum explodes, and then you get punished for it with some actually really lame penalty when you think about what you just did to the universe. Just saying. Penalty doesn't fit the crime. But you do get punished for it. So you're kind of doing that. You're borrowing against yourself in time. And that's where the whole, time travel-y bit goes. Then you're also racing against time again because the whole world's ending and all that good stuff. So you're walking around the worker placement. What I really like about this game, what makes it different, besides the fact that you're kind of racing against the clock on this one, is you're on a planet that's not doing too well. So if you're going to be working outside of your buildings, you need to plan on getting a mech that you can get into because it's got its own atmosphere and stuff and it'll keep you safe while you're working out on the surface of the planet. Because Earth's not looking so good, okay? And so at the very beginning of your turn of the whole round, you have got to select how many mechs you want to basically reserve. I guess they're like U-Haul for, people that are post-apocalyptic. I don't know. But anyway, you're renting out your U-Haul mechs. But they're kind of expensive, so you don't want to just willy-nilly be like, I'm going to borrow all of them. I mean, you could. That'd be really pricey. So you want to pick and choose, okay, do I really need to go out there? What do I need to do? Each scientist, they all have like little specialties. There's one that's sort of a wild, but most of them have an area of expertise. So you also want to make sure you have enough of your scientists to dole out where you need to go. It's also worker placement. He could snipe my spot because he's also trying to get the heck out of this planet. So all this stuff is going on. Meanwhile, you're like, hey, future self, Hunter sniped my spot. I really need this box of planks. So you're just like, okay, fine, I give up a box of planks. All this really cool stuff. Now, this monstrosity that is this box has all sorts of cool produced, like really awesome 3D mini mechs and, oh man, all sorts of goodies and stuff. In fact, can we peek? Can we peek the box? Please. Don't slam the box down. Oh, it's such a good game. It's so pretty. Okay, I won't have you dig too deep because this is really organized nicely. And it has its own, it's a good one when it tells you how to pack this box. Look at rule books. Oh, scary. Lots of reading.
The mechs are at the bottom.
You know what? I'm not going to show you the mechs today. They're at the bottom of all this. But there's boards, there's personal boards. You can kind of see like all the different. That's not a personal board. Oh man, I just wanted to show off some of the stuff. It's packed a really special way. Actually, the packaging in this box, really and truly, is really good. It's just that to get to all the good fun stuff that you want to play and fiddle with is all in the store at the bottom. But they're all in trays. You just pull them out and do your thing, and then you can play the game. But repacking that box is a bit of a bear because it does fit everything into it. This is another one of those 90-ish minute games. So I want to say a little longer than that. It's pretty heavy. There's a lot of actions. Like I said, you've got the specialized scientists and they have specialized places that they can go. There's all these conditions that have to be met before, you can get off of the world. And if someone does build the ship, you better get off that very next turn or you're not going to make it before the world ends. So good. And I know this one also is criminally low, isn't it?
This is apocalyptically low.
Ooh.
This one is one of my all-time favorites. I'm shocked and appalled that it's in the 40s. Oh my gosh, where have you been? This is a good game. This is one of the best worker placement games. Period. End of story. I don't know how many worker placement games you have on your list above this one. All of them should be below this one, probably.
Interesting.
This is an awesome game. It has awesome choices. I love the fact of you start out in your little area. I don't know what your part of the world. Your little part of the world doesn't have much going on, but you can build sections of that, so you can make a choice. I want to work in my area, which aren't going to be quite as cool actions, and do stuff there and build that up, or I'm going to go out to the capital city and do stuff there. Get more scientists. You have workers that are unique and different. They do different abilities, different skills. Yeah. If you use a generic worker, you might not get as cool many, but if you use a specific worker to that task, you get a little bonus.
That's true. I didn't even mention that.
It's got resource management. It's got that whole time thing. It has what they're called. They're there's big event things that you can work on, but there's only a certain period of time you can work on those.
They're basically like a contract, but they have a time stamp. Kind of,
yeah. And if you do finish that, you get a superpower. Additional superpower. You have mechs. You decide how many mechs you want to assign. You don't want to assign too many because if you don't use them, you're wasting resources. But if you use the too few, then you're limiting what actions you could potentially do for the turn.
It's pricey.
It is an amazing game. You don't need this monstrosity or craziness. The base game itself is perfectly fine.
Good. Really good.
You don't get the cool mechs, but who cares?
It's just fun fluff. Really.
Amazing game. One of my favorites. I'm not sure if it's in my top 10 anymore. It may be in my top 20, but it's way up my list.
Yeah, it's pretty
way
good.
up my list.
And it is, like Hunter said, it's not necessary to get all this craziness.
Necessary.
But if you really like the game, it's so good. You really want to get all of that
But
for real.
the box is, let's see, I'm going to go 18 pounds.
Yeah, it's stupid. Whatever that weighs, it's ridiculous. Don't mail it.
And I apologize for blowing your eardrums out, but that's the risk you play when you hang out with the Family Showdown.
Oh my goodness. Well, they wouldn't have heard what you said anyway, because now they're deaf. Okay. This is another punished game. I'm wondering if this one, though, kind of got played out a little bit, because we've played it so much. It was my 16. It's now my 46.
What? It was your 16.
It was. We have played this game a lot.
This was one of your all-time favorites.
It is, and I still
cry.
love it. It's my 46.
I weep for you, Orleans.
Oh my goodness.
There's going to be no.
What? Now, so this is bag building, sort of?
It is bag building.
But it's like, I don't know. Anyway.
Pool buildings.
Pool. Yeah, I was going to say, they call it pool building.
You don't build a bag.
Yeah. Whatever. Okay, it's all the same. I said that. I was kind of trollish. But this game was the first one of that kind of mechanism that we just fell in love with. It's really fun. And you're building up your bag of things. You're buying, using your guys, and they go to certain places, and basically it's like a little recipe to get another dude. And each turn, the more as you upgrade different sections of the board, you can get more people out. So you're drawing them out of your bag, and you're laying them out. And then you get to figure out, it's kind of like a little puzzle, who do I want to match up where on my board that'll help me produce different things? Because there's so much going on. You can use your workers to get more workers. You can use your workers to go traveling by land or by water. So there's different kinds of ways to travel and trade. You can send them off to do good deeds, which to me is a euphemism for they're going to die because they don't come back into your bag. They're dying. I don't care what Hunter says. Killing off your players. Basically if you get too many of one type, right? You're sick of them. Send them off to do a good deed.
Another one of these.
It's so terrible. Oh man. But yeah, so you get to do that, and as you're doing that, you're kind of going up all these different ladders, and I love the ladder climbing in this because as you do that, you're getting like victory points, and you're starting to chain some of those, and you get extra perks for going up the ladders of the different types of people, and it just starts to accumulate over time as you're getting all these cool little perks and stuff. For example, a little farmer guy. Every time you get another farmer guy and you upgrade that, it gives you like a resource. So you're getting a little extra resource each time or something. But once you get to the end of it, you're going to get a cool victory point multiplier thing. Because it's got a funky way that it scores. It's like you multiply, you got these little extra bonus point people dudes, little meeple things. And then you multiply them. Oh my gosh, it's a weirdest thing. Multiply them by how far you are on this other kind of scoreboard, and you multiply all that together, and that's your victory points. So you want to try to get everything that's involved with that as high as you can, so that when you multiply it, it's like points explosion. But what's fun about this again is just the bag building. You're gonna get who knows what each turn, right? You're pulling out this randomness and trying to, and then you got to make do with it and puzzle out what's the most efficient way to use them and maximize your ladder climbing and your victory points and this and that. So much fun. I really love it. There's also, I didn't even talk about the map. The map on the board that you're traveling on, you can leave little like trading posts, I think is what they're called. And you can kind of make a little chain of those, and you get victory points and stuff doing that too. And resources, it's another way to grab resources. And just there's so much going on with it. It's a lot of fun, and you're pulling from the bag, and hopefully you're getting pieces that you really like. And if you're not, well, then you're probably going to do some more traveling or something. It's great. There's always like a plan B. There's always something cool that you get to do with this game.
Orleans doesn't like you anymore.
Apparently not.
Orlean weeps. This knight here, you can't see it because he's wearing a helmet.
He's like, bye.
He's weeping.
Is he?
Because this used to be your favorite. It's still one of my favorites. She's crazy. This is a great game.
No, it is a great game. It's my 46. It may go back up a little bit.
I think this game was like my 14, like 3 years in a row or something. It was weird. Anyway,
It's a top game.
Orlean is
for sure
awesome. I love this game. We played it at Dice Tower Con many moons ago, and in the middle of the game, I walked over the cool stuff booth and bought it.
Yep.
We didn't get the deluxified cool version. That's okay. TMG rip.
Oh.
Anyway,
it's a great version.
It's such a good game. I love it. It's got if you like tracks, this has got tracks within tracks within tracks that you're going up on. It has buildings that you can build to give you superpowers and give you more places to put your little worker guys. Has events that trick up the game.
Events even. Didn't even mention those.
That trick up the game. Like some are good, some are bad. Things you have to react to. Got the expansion, which the trade and intrigue expansion. Intrigue is garbage, but the trade expansion is really cool because it gives you more stuff. Another board, a better board that you can go out and put your good deed people on. I love this game. It's so cool. There's only one minus to this game,
and that is.
It's one thing I despise about this game. Do you know what it is?
The box?
No.
The rules?
No.
The fact that it's really full?
No. I'll get there. Hold on. Oh my gosh.
The way you packed it?
No.
Oh, is it the bag? It's the bags. I forgot. You hate the texture.
Oh, these bags. Oh. That texture is like if you wanted to torture me, you would lay me down and put a blanket of this stuff on top of me, and I would go insane within minutes.
It's not even velvety. It's that coarse kind of, yeah.
It is. You know when some people have that where you scratch the chalkboard thing?
That's what this does to him every time.
It is.
Don't touch it.
Oh,
We get usually some other bags out.
It just oogs me out. I don't know what it is.
I forgot this has the bags.
So I have a collection of little extra bags that I've bought and are being gifted to me. I grab one of those to play Orleans in. But man, that texture. And I was actually in art class one year. We made stuff out of that.
Ooh.
And I literally wore gloves to school. In Texas, in the middle of probably the spring or something, I wore gloves.
So you wouldn't have to touch those.
So I wouldn't have to touch that texture. It is. And felt is like very borderline. I can straight felt I can deal with.
But it's not felt, and it's not like, that velvet
it's like
either.
That, I don't know. It's like prickly. I don't know what it is. It just.
Yeah, it's gross.
But I love Orleans. Other than the bags, the bags are garbage. But the game is awesome. This is probably creeped out of my top 20 over time. Kind of like you dropped down some, not like plummeted like out of space from outer space. But it's creeping down my list just because it's old, and this is probably one of our most played heavier games.
Yeah.
I mean, we played lots of party games and lighter games over and over again, but this is probably one of our most played heavier games.
That's true.
Because it's so good. Orleans.
So good.
Orleans.
Oh, stop it. Okay, so my number 45 to the list is new. And it's also one that's going to work your muscles.
You might want to turn your volume down. Do you remember Anachrony and the noise it made?
This one's going to start an earthquake.
This one's even bigger.
It is even bigger. How is this possible, people?
I was going to be like,
be gentle.
I'll slide it over to you.
Boop, boop, boop. The infamous Foundations of Rome. You're just hiding behind it now? If you wanted to look up overproduction in the dictionary, I'm pretty sure that this would be the example they give. And you know what? I am 100% behind it and okay with it because this is so good. Say steeple.
What?
Say steeple. It's so
what?
good. But
is that French?
Yes.
They're talking about Rome and you're speaking French?
Oh my gosh. What are you going to do about it?
Caesar is rolling over in his grave right now.
Caesar is probably rolling over his grave because my students hate him right now. But, Foundations of Rome, it's ginormous. And it's so great to play. This one, there's no way you can put this on a table and people are going to ignore this game. I mean, every single time you're going to get everybody going, whoa, what is that? What is this? And what's great is it's easy to teach to people. This isn't a super heavy game. It just looks magnificent and grandiose. But it kind of reminds me of like some kind of hybrid with Acquire and... what would it be? Acquire and... I'm trying to think of what it would be. Acquire and Acquire. Yes, totally. But it's got the same kind of thing. So what you're doing is you got these beautiful buildings that were in the Roman Forum, okay? And you're going to be putting them down, and they each have their own little benefits, and they have a nice little stamp on them that tell you what they are. So, for example, one might produce a lot of money. Or there's different buildings that they produce if you're next to buildings that produce money. Okay, same thing with population. There's population ones. The money, I can't remember what the other one is now.
Victory points.
Just straight up victory points. Duh. And so it's just a combinations of those things. And then you've got your own beautiful personal tray that's your color. And Hunter will have his own personal tray of the same buildings, but it's in his color. Look at this. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh. So... can I take one out? Huh? Look at this. You ready for this? Look at this, people. Boom. Black player right here.
That's all the monuments.
Oh, this is the monuments. I didn't grab the player thing. Well, this is all the fancy-dancy, as Hunter says, monuments. Ridiculous. You don't even have to play with all the super expensive, crazy, difficult monuments. You can just play a very basic game with your player tray. Here we go. You just take this little plastic lid off and you're ready to go. I'm going to put it back on so I can show you stuff. But, so you're placing those buildings. Like I said, they have these little stamps on them that tell you, like, oh, this is 6 people population points, okay? This one over here has 2 money. This one is based off of if it's next to places that, are these types of buildings, for example. And you're going in and you're placing them on the map and trying to maximize your points. Meanwhile, other people are sniping your spots too. Kind of in the same way as Acquire has you draw the locations on them too, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. Because I know Game of 49 does the same kind of thing. And so you're trying to get ideal locations so that you can squeeze your little buildings into these places and whatnot. So you have to have money to be able to get your places of choice, because it's one of those where it's in a nice row of cards, so you'll have like the first place is free, the second one you gotta pay 1 to something like that. It's more expensive. If you wait for it to get down to the free one, probably gonna get stolen from you before someone else gets it, that kind of, before you're able to get it. The storage for this is phenomenal. I mean, how nice is it to just pull out a tray and be like, well, this is your stuff, and it's one of those, it's like a 5-minute teach once you get that out, and it's gorgeous. It's ridiculous. The box is insane. All of this, just greatness. Emerson Matsuchi, just beautiful game. Love it, love it, love it. One of my faves, obviously. And it's new to the list, and it jumped up to 45. What does that tell you? You guys know I don't like to just throw new games into my list typically. Just saying. It's that good. Now, this is not for the faint of heart or faint of wallet. Unfortunately, this was not a cheap game because it is a beast.
And it's not going to go to retail, so
yeah,
it's pretty much secondhand at this point. I think there's still some copies floating around. They may be gone at this point after Gen Con.
Oof.
But yeah, it's
only going to
I doubt they're going to reprint. Oh no, they just did another Kickstarter.
Oh, did they? Oh, good.
Yeah, but it's probably going to be Kickstarter only because retail is just not going to work for this game for obvious reasons. And I don't think they have any intention of making a cheap cardboard version of it.
Which I'm kind of happy with, to be honest, because I think that's part of the appeal to this.
Yeah, this one is, I'm at a quandary with this game.
Are you?
Quandary.
Why?
I hope that's the right word. Anyway, I love the production. I love the gameplay. It's just so light. Like this game almost drifts away. It's so light, which is good and bad. It's super easy. It's easy to teach. I can teach you to play this game, base game, probably like 5 minutes. I can teach you how to
Yeah,
play
it
this
really
game.
is that quick.
It's super easy to teach. It's easy to get to the table, even though it's crazily overproduced. It's so easy to set up and play, especially if you don't do the monuments. The monuments add a little more effort
They're a little more
because
complicated.
you have to. I think you have to decide which ones you're going to play with and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you also end up kind of replacing some of your buildings because you have to put them in a space that takes like bigger. A lot of times you have to replace some of your buildings, and there's ways you have to do that. But
it's an awesome game, but it's expensive. It's an expensive game. It's for what it is. It's not. There's not a lot of gameplay in terms of complexity there for the amount of components that you have for this game. It's a super simple game. So I don't know where this is going to land. It's going to be interesting to see.
yeah,
I don't know if I put it in my. I don't know if we played it before my top 100 or not. I can't recall.
I think it was after you built it.
But I don't know where this was going to land. It just depends on my mood because it's weird because I'm going to compare it with production-wise. I'm going to compare it with some of our best games. Game-wise, I'm going to compare it to some of our lighter games. So where is it going to fall?
Which is interesting. So, I guess for you, typically, like bang for your buck, you want heavier, meatier games. Because you feel like that's where the money is for that, right?
Yeah, I mean,
and maybe that's what you're equating it with.
Maybe, I don't know. I just, it's going to be weird to see how this one falls because it depends on my mind. Am I thinking like how cool it looks and how amazing it is and how easy it is to set up and play?
It's its own art.
Or am I comparing it to it's a simple drafting card game that
has crazy buildings and like all this?
So I don't know.
I got you.
It's an awesome game. It probably lands somewhere in my top 100. I just don't know where it's gonna be.
I have a love-hate relationship with this trend of the games getting heavy like this, heavy as in physically heavy and big and overproduced. But I think it's cool because before, anytime you had a game like this, it had to be a super complicated game. And I think what this is doing now is bringing this cool table appeal that was always reserved for only those super heavy games. And now it's like anybody can get a hold of a cool game like that just wows everybody at the table. And I think that's both a good thing and a bad thing, right? It's great because now we can get a hold of those. But then how many Joe Average people are going to be like, oh, yeah, let me drop so much money for that. But again, are you going to play it over and over again? Heck yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting thing, and I love-hate the trend, and I think I like it. It's growing on me because I'm a sucker for the good art and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
so
this game, if you would have did a bare bones, cardboard, regular board card game of this, it'd probably be a $30, $40 game, something like that.
Well, yeah, and I'd be like,
But if it was sitting out on a table, that game was sitting out on a table, we would just walk right by it and kept going. Oh, it's another tile placement, another polyomino game. Who cares?
Yeah.
You got like 20 of those.
Yeah.
But when you walk by and you go, what is that?
Yeah.
I mean, they had this set up and at that Dice Tower retreat, I want to say.
Yes.
Maybe.
Oh my gosh. It had its own little ta-da
I mean,
table.
it was like how do I play this? I want to play this game. It's awesome, but it is.
It was a good move.
Let's see. Anachrony was 18. This one's maybe 21.
Is it actually heavier than Anachrony? Wow.
I think that's about 21. Maybe. I don't know.
I want to weigh these later and see how close. I was going to say, I want to see how close he actually is.
I'm just making up numbers.
He's like, oh, it's 47.
That's pounds for those who are not in the U.S.
Imperial measurements here because we're ridiculous.
So 10 kilograms-ish.
Look at you doing math. Science-y and all. Oh, my goodness. All right, so we talked a long time about 45, but with good reason because it's an awesome game. My number 44 was my 32. It dropped a little bit. Not too bad. Probably some settling.
Hate it now.
Oh, totally.
Ugh.
Castles of Tuscany. I love this and more Steffenfeld goodness. And this one, I love the Castles of Burgundy. I love what they tweaked and changed to make Castles of Tuscany its own little animal. I say they, Steffenfeld. Yeah, doesn't it have a textured cover? Yeah, the cover's textured. It's really neat. I love the scoring system with this. One of the things that I love best about this is it's got, kind of like the cover shows, It's got 2 wheels, and there's one wheel that's every round you're adding stuff to it. But then there's like the master score, which is the other circle, and everything that you've earned in that next round is going to go into that. So it's just over and over you're scoring. So if you get a really good engine going and you've got a massive amount of points that you're getting every round, that's getting sent over to your main score every single round. I mean, it's just multiplying. So much fun. I love that. It's got a lot of the same kind of like the basic stuff going on. It's got the little, are they hexes? That's what I was looking at. Yeah, they're hexes. The little hexes, and just like Burgundy, where you've got your little regions and you want to fill in the colors and you get victory points for completing regions and whatnot. Same basic premise there. And the cards are kind of the same, but the main board part, the main board really is the scoreboard for this, and then the sideboard. Before you had it where you roll the dice, and how you rolled is like how you're going to pick stuff off of the board. And this one was different. I'm trying to remember. It was all card driven for this one, right? Yeah, the dice are not there. And I think I'm okay with that. Because sometimes the dice were really hateful in Castles of Burgundy, and I would get really annoyed with them. I had a love-hate relationship with the dice in that game. But this one takes that out. It's cards, and I don't know why I'm more chill with the cards than not. The cards can just totally, mess you up just as badly, but whatever, the cards, I guess. I really enjoy this one. This is another one of those that I think Feld did where it feels really good. I think this would play the same pretty much any player count. It feels really nice and balanced. It's a classic point salad-y Feld. It's lovely. So, Mr. I'm cooling on Stefan Feld games.
This pales in comparison to Castles of Burgundy.
Really?
Pales in comparison.
Really? Oh, interesting. Oh, wow.
This one's just, it's just too light. It's just...
Really? You think it's too light? That's shocking.
It's about the time you get going in this game, it's already over, which, I mean, it could be a good thing.
In this one, I like that. I like the way it ramps up. But
it just, I don't know. I just don't get, I don't come out of the game feeling like I accomplished as much as I do when I come out of Burgundy. It's like,
that makes sense, though. That makes sense.
This one's just kind of and you're done, and it's over 45
I like
minutes
those sound
later.
effects.
Burgundy's got some meat to it. It's got some tough, like, brain burning decisions. Like, do I modify my dice to get something that's slightly better? Do I keep those things? You got all the goods that you're building up. When do I sell those? Do I let it build up to make a big sell? Do I sell them now? What am I going to go for on the board? The only thing I like about this game, and there's hints of that in Burgundy as well, but this one's, like you said, that first round, you're really pushing to get some points because that's going to score multiple times.
So good.
Burgundy has something similar with you want to be the first to clear districts and do things like that to get the benefits decrease as time goes by on those. It's good. It's good. It does definitely have the feel of Burgundy. It just doesn't have, for me personally, it doesn't have the it's not as rewarding, I guess, is the word I'm looking for.
Excuse me. So, Burgundy. Would you consider this a good starter game for people getting into Stefan Feld then, as opposed to Burgundy now? Because this one is, you said, feels lighter.
Yeah, definitely.
I think this one probably would be easier to figure out.
It's a 3 out of 10 in light bulbs.
In light bulbs? All right. So for Feld, that's really light. Because usually, his games are known for being so heavy and whatnot.
I don't know.
Do they all have light bulbs? Well, this is Alia. Oh, yeah, Alia does most of these. Does it have a light bulb measurement?
It's
is that a new thing?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 10 in light bulbs.
Okay.
6 out of 10. 3 out of 10, 6 out of 10.
It's half the weight. I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's half the playtime, half the weight, half the fun.
Okay, so I cannot believe this. Violence against this
That's
poor
basically
little...
how I feel.
Wow.
To be honest.
Wow. Okay.
Keeping it real, as
messed
the kids say.
Messed up. Castles of Tuscany. We will probably be seeing things from this designer again in the future as well. Just saying. My number 43 is new.
Man, with the new games are just
know.
rolling in.
I'm telling you, this has been a good year for the games.
Oh, this one's another one criminally low.
Probably, according to Hunter.
This is a whole slew of criminally low games.
This is Merchants of the Dark Road.
I don't know if you can even see the name. It's so dark.
That's how dark the road is. It's crazy dark. They should have more than that one lantern, which is why it's good to not necessarily go by yourself. This is such a fun game. You have your own little cart that you're actually going to have polyomino things and wares that you're going to want to sell. And you have to fit them into your little cart. You might have somebody that wants to go along for the ride and just hitch a ride with you. There's all sorts of things going on as you're bustling around town. And then you want to go out into the world and sell your goods. Now, do you want to go the regular route or do you know a shortcut? Because if you use the code words, I know a shortcut, people might want to go with you on the dark road.
No, the shortcut's not the dark road.
Oh, that's true.
Shortcut goes to like the ruins or something.
Okay, you ruined all my drama.
I don't know.
Fine. There's a dark road and you travel it. Whatever. No, it's really neat though, because yeah, I just love that in the game you actually do say, I know a shortcut, and everyone knows. Oh, he's taking the shorter route. Dun dun dun. You know, and people can go with you on this road or not because again, it's dangerous out there. The gameplay is really fun. It takes like an hour to 90 minutes, I want to say. It's been a little while since we played it, so I may be a little bit off on that. But when we played it, I really, really, really enjoyed it, and I really want to play it again soon. It might go up the list. I'm not kidding you. It says 60 to 120 minutes, so hour and a half for us playing it the first time through. So yeah, it's probably going to settle in about an hour. The gameplay is just great. I love the actions, the choices. It seems like it's nothing but good choices, right? I felt that way. If you don't get what you want to do initially, there's always like your backup plan. You have something else that you can choose. There's so many different actions in the city too, and I'm trying to remember what all, because it's collecting the resources and building up this and that, and then you got to go sell your stuff, and that's where you're really gonna hopefully make some good money and win. So you say this is criminally low.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites of the year. Not even close.
Wow, of the year? That's
yeah.
saying a lot.
It's one of my faves. Basically there's a rondel action going on in the city. Your little wagon's going around, collecting stuff, picking up things, picking people, getting stuff, building up your thing. Eventually you're going to go, let's get out of here, let's roll. So we roll out and people can say, I want to go with you. And everyone goes over there, sells their stuff, gets all kinds of cool stuff. Then you go back and you build up again, and you go back, and then you go out and maybe go on the shortcut this time and do something else different. It's really cool. You have like companions. You have people that are riding with you that give you bennies that you can get.
Oh, that's right. They get side benefits.
And you get all kinds of different wares. Different cities want different things, and so good. This is a good one. This is one of the best games I think that came out this year. So good. Love it. One of my faves. I don't know where it's going to land. Probably maybe 20s, maybe.
Wow,
like that.
That's pretty amazing.
But we'll
that's
see.
pretty amazing.
We'll see. We probably need to get this one played again.
I think so.
We may play this over Christmas break before I make my list, because I really wanted to play this one more time before I decide where it's going to end.
Nothing wrong with that.
Merchants.
Not going to turn that down.
Of the Dark Road.
Woohoo!
So good. Criminally low. So good.
So my number 42 is also new.
What?
Yes.
Is it a good game?
It is a good game.
I don't know. We'll see.
I played this a lot this year. A lot. This is not Hunter's cup of tea. However, it is mine. Yes. So creature comforts. Oh my goodness, this is so adorable. Okay, you got cute art. And you've got a cute little premise. So you're trying to get yourself to have the coziest little place. So you're ready for hibernation. And it's like the best place to hibernate ever in the animal kingdom. So you're going to do, I guess you call it dice placement, right? I assume. So
Kind of, yeah.
you have your own personal dice, and then there's some community dice, and you roll those, and you're basically gonna kind of bet. Oh, I think I'm gonna go here and here and here. You're gonna kind of place where you think you're gonna go, and then the other dice roll, and you're gonna make it match up and go to these places. Now, different places give you different resources. There's a visiting animal that gives like a cool, like kind of game breaking power or ability that's different each round. There's just all these different amenities, and so you get these resources. You're trying to get a bunch of resources, and then you go and buy cool things. So you might want to have, some soup in your nice little place. But you know what goes really good with that? Some bread, and there's like extra victory point bonuses if you get both of those cards. Or you might have a scarf and some ice skates, or there's all these fun different things you can stock your house with. Board games, that's a card, believe it or not. Or there's like a pantry where if you have a certain amount of goods and you just store them in there, you get to have, it's like a little storage facility for your victory points, because you're taking extra goods that you would normally be spending on other cards, but you store them on this place. Get victory points for that. It's really cool. So the resources themselves can end up being victory points, or the cards can be victory points, and you're just trying to go around, and it's nice, it's friendly, so Hunter and I can go to the same spot if we want to get some of the resources and whatnot. Oh gosh, and it's just a cute game. Nessa fell in love with it too. We've played with it so much and so many times throughout the course. I've taught this to several people. Yeah, I was going to say Hunter's probably a little tired. It's a little lighter for his taste. But I love this, and I'm excited because I just saw, I think you showed it to me recently, that there was it's not an expansion, it's a separate game, but it's made in this universe.
Maple Valley.
Maple Valley, and that looks really cute too. So, something to keep an eye on if you liked Creature Comforts.
So, Creature Comforts. No, really, this is really an awesome game. This is what I would consider an amazing gamer family game.
Oh, totally.
It says 8+ on here, and it's obviously for kids that have played these kind of games. But it's got some meat to it. I mean, the adults can actually have a great time playing this game. You don't even have to play with kids. It's an awesome game in itself.
This is not a kid game.
It's
just cute.
It's got I like the dice placement. I like the press your luck. You like, okay, I rolled a 6 and a 5. What are the chances I'll get a 4? Because I need a 4, 5, or 6 to go to this one spot.
Yeah.
Do I risk it? So you're almost pressuring your luck doing that. You get like a little if you don't get the dice you need to go there, you get a little Benny that lets you adjust dice.
It's called lesson learned.
Yes, you get lesson learned.
You get to adjust your dice, and so it helps you with that.
And so you're buying all those cards, and the brunt of your victory points are going to come from those cards you're purchasing. You also can purchase workshop cards that give you like special powers. Some of them actually give another worker placement spot that people can go to.
That's true too. Yeah. That's pretty handy.
It's just a really, really solid game.
The only thing I think though is that 45-minute time, because if you're playing with more than 2 players,
it's probably 45 plus 15 per player, maybe something like that.
At least, I swear.
Yeah, I would say 4 players is probably an hour and a half game.
I was gonna say it's a 90-minute game. I feel like it's one of those where it's fun to play with a lot of people, but it will drag out a bit, so just be aware of that.
Yeah, it's one of those games where this person, you basically do simultaneous assignment all your workers, but then Rebecca takes her entire turn, and then I take my entire turn, and the next person takes their entire turn. So if there's 5 players, it's going to take a little while for that to get around the table.
Yeah, I don't think I want to play it again unless it's 3 or less players because of that, because it feels like the downtime.
That doesn't sound very comforting or friendly or creaturey. No, it's a solid game. I love it. I'm looking forward to the Maple Valley game as well. That's that one's got, you're moving around on a map, and if you know me,
you love your maps.
I love moving around on a map. So,
all right, you're gonna roll your eyes at me. I know.
What number is this?
This is 41. This is the last one for today, and it too is new, and it is so good. Hunter's gonna find this really obnoxious, though. It is the strange little game with a potato. Give me that. I know. This is so Hunter's favorite game. favorite game.
It's an okay game.
No,
it's
this
not
game,
the 41st best game ever produced.
Yes, it is.
Oh
Yes,
my
it
gosh.
is. Oh my gosh. Okay.
This game. I did laugh last night. Like,
You laughed your head off. People were asking what we were playing like so many times.
I don't know. 41.
Okay. I gotta take this one to school. The kids might kill each other on it though. So everybody gets a piece of paper, and it's got potatoes in little squares. 100 of them. Sounds really thrilling, right? There's one dice and one pencil. That's it for the resources for the game. Okay. So the person who's it has the pencil. If you ever have the pencil, you are writing as fast as you can the numbers 1 through 100 in these squares. Don't turn away yet, because I know that sounds really tedious. You'd think, oh my gosh, what is this nonsense? You're doing this frantically because everyone else is taking turns rolling that dice. And on that dice are things like switch the papers. And your goal, by the way, is to finish writing the number 100 on your potato. So you could be rotating the papers, or it could be, what was some of the other, I'm trying to remember there's only a couple different things it does. The rotating the paper.
Look, it's right there.
Oh, the high five. There's distractor things. Everybody gives each other high fives, or everyone bangs on the table, or there's the gimme that. So the person that rolls it goes, yoink. I think we used that sound effect several times, actually. You steal the pencil from them, and you get to start writing. So there's people stealing your papers. There's people stealing the pencil. There's people banging on the table and waving around and trying to make noise and distract you while you're writing like a crazy person. Spreadsheet. But no, you hid the best part of it all. If you win, you get the coveted gimme that potato sticker. It's actually got several stickers in here.
We haven't played our copy yet.
We haven't played this copy of it. Oh my goodness!
I was fine with this game until the pass the sheet thing went up, because I was like I was like on 70, and not to mention names, Jeff was like on 10. He passed me the sheet, and I'm like, what is this garbage? You've been slacking off over there.
It is so much fun.
Oh,
everyone's laughing and scrambling to write this. It's stupid fun. It's great chaos. And I think what I love the best about it is it's very simplistic. There's nothing complicated about it, but it's just good.
I remember
fun.
One time I snatched the pencil out of someone's hand and it launched halfway across the convention hall.
That was pretty amazing.
There could have been someone killed.
It stabbed with a pencil. Yeah. So the risks of going to board game conventions.
I just remember when that sheet was passed to me, and I'm like...
You're like, I was so far. Yeah. Oh, man. It just gets crazy. And what's great is when you're getting to the end and you're almost done. Because I remember Bailey actually won, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, one time she was...
But she was writing. She started writing 100, and the paper got taken from her, so she ended up having to finish it again. She was working so hard. She deserved that win. Because, she was...
She took my sheet that had like 90 on it.
See, look, it's so good. It's so good.
It's all right. It's a fun experience. I wouldn't call it a game.
Oh, it's totally a game. Game on.
41.
Yes.
So it's slightly better than... Okay, this might be slightly better than Creature Comforts. I'm kidding.
I'm watching somebody.
I'm kidding.
I can't wait for his list to come out now, because it's just going to be roasted. You
cannot break my stride, baby.
No, neither can you break mine, because my list is... So... Now you've known 50 through 41. That was pretty exciting little hodgepodge. The next set, gonna be crazy. Can't wait. See you soon.